Hi there, you are on Knowledge for All YouTube channel. You are watching Scratch tutorials, and in this video we are going to explain how and when to use, say, hello for 2 seconds block, or to be more precise, Scratch block, which is used to saying some text for some exact amount of time or seconds. Okay, let's go to internet browser to your Scratch. We are opening a Scratch project which we are working on from start. In previous episodes we did lots of stuff, but it's still very simple, and it doesn't do very much on our screen, on our stage, in our game. So for now we are going to try to explain the one of the looks blocks. So click on the looks group of blocks, and the first from above, the first from the top, which says say hello for 2 seconds, drag and drop it into your code window. I have zoomed in to see, for you to see the blocks much better, just for a visual effect. And before using this new block and explaining it, I owe you one explanation from last video. In last video we have we have coded the cat to say something with pauses in time, and let's do it again. Let's start it to see how it looks on the stage. Hello, I'm Scratch Cat. Welcome to programming. And the problem which we had here is that this text, welcome to programming, the last sentence here, it stays forever on the screen. We want to get rid of it to make it clear, so it doesn't bother us on the screen, so it looks professional, more clean. Because otherwise it will take our space on the screen, and it will be harder to play our game. So I was explaining you last time, and in a couple of videos before that, programming coding is cool because you can you can solve some problem in different ways. That means that you can do the same thing in a couple of different ways, which is great because for some of you guys or girls, some way which will be very hard or boring or slow, but you can find your own way and do it much faster, much simpler, and as long as it works, you shouldn't care how you get the result, as long as it makes sense to you and as long as it works. So if some other coder, some other programmer do it other way, you just don't care. It doesn't matter. You can do it in your own way and just relax and have fun and do it your own way, any way which works, as long as it works. That's one of the most important things in coding and programming, and unfortunately lots of people don't talk about it or explain it that way. I will show you that right now in the concrete example in practice, and you will see how that can be done for your future problems or ideas. It's just most important for you not to give up and always try to find some other solution. If one doesn't work, try the other way. Okay, so one of the solutions for this problem we have for now, it's very simple, and we will be solving that problem with the blocks which we have used before, the ones we learned before. So if we just pause for a couple of seconds and try to think in words, in ideas, what do we have, what kind of problem do we have here, and what are we supposed to solve here. My problem is that I want to remove this last sentence, welcome to programming, from the screen. So now I'm trying to think in my mind how to do it, and the first thing that comes in my mind would be something like, okay, if the cat was when I use this say block, cat says that on the screen, and that's cool. But if I don't want the cat, if I want the cat to say nothing, to have a blank expression, maybe it will work if I just delete this text and make it blank like this. Okay, so this looks blank and empty, so maybe this will work. So let's just we need just one more control block for pause, and then one from the look says which says say hello, and then delete this text from it, complete, and drag and drop it to your block of code. And this is now, before starting it on the stage, before testing it, let's read it. Cat, when green flag clicked, cat says hello, then wait for 1 second, then says I'm Scratch Cat, that waits for 3 seconds, that says welcome to programming, that waits for 1 second, and then says nothing, blank, empty bubble. So let's see if it will work. Hello, I'm Scratch Cat, welcome to programming, and it disappears. Great. So this empty bubble, deleted bubble, works, and it solves our problem just like that. But if I zoom out and look at my code now, this part of the code which I have just done, we can see that there is a lot of code here. Not really a lot. You can add I don't know, 100 blocks or even more to make something really complex, but for most of the people this would already be kind of confusing or complex. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks here. I have 7 blocks in a row, in a vertical row column, and it looks more or less okay because it's different colors and very simple. But if I want to make it more and more complex, then it will be more and more blocks. So one of the other things which I connected to programming and coding is that when you have something which is massive, which is long, big, you always want to shrink it to make it smaller, to make it shorter. That's one of the other things about programming, just as the thing which I told you about trying to find another solution. Another stuff is another feature of programming is to always try to make things shorter, faster, simpler, and to make them work better and faster. So if you have something like this, you would probably, and you're a programmer for some time, you would probably try to make it smaller, shorter. And one of the things which is great about Scratch is that Scratch programmers, the guys and girls who made the Scratch programming language, they already did a lot of coding for you. All of these blocks which we have here on to pick from on our left side, they are I talked about before, they are all little snippets, little parts of code which are only represented as colorful blocks, but they are doing their own stuff behind the scene. They are little chunks of code typed, and you don't see them that way. You see them as only as images, as blocks, but they are sometimes they are complex, and guys at the Scratch did it for you. So one of the blocks they did for you is the one which we will explain now here, and that's this say something for some amount of seconds. And let's try that block, just snapping it to when the green flag clicked. So I had a chunk of code here, I detached it and attached this new one, say hello for 2 seconds. Let's see what it will happen on the screen when I start the green flag. hello, and it goes for 2 seconds and it disappears. Great. So what do we have here? If we compare it to the code which we have done before, we can see that, oops, something is, yeah, lagging here. If we can compare it to the code which we have done before, this code here, it works like this. Cat says something, says hello, then wait for, let's put 1 second, wait for 1 second, and it even deletes the text from the screen. So this code here, say hello for 1 second, it works, it does what 3 blocks on the right do. It's the same thing, only written shorter, and that's already done by Scratch programmers for you to they have probably seen that lots of people use this save function, then make a pause, then want text to disappear from the screen, and they said, okay, lots of people use it, let's make some kind of block for that to make them easier to work, which is great. You can even do that on your own later. We will learn, I hope so, how to do it. It's more complex programming, but you can do it in my blocks. You can make your own blocks like they did it. But for now, let's stick to this lesson here. So they made it easier for us to code, to program, and they will save our screen space, so we can use 1 block instead of those 3. Let's test it to see if I'm telling the truth. I'm testing with only 1 block. Say hello for 1 second. Hello, disappears. And let's do it with 3 blocks. Hello, and it disappears. So it's the same thing, but we have learned the faster way for doing it. Now, why did I show you this previous version at all? Some of you are probably young and kids and want the fastest possible way always, and don't want to learn something you see you don't need, or you think it's stupid. Like you can say now, oh, this whole coding we learned previously was stupid, why did you showed it to us? But as I have just stated a few minutes ago, the whole idea is to learn to do things on a couple of ways. So this is one way, this is the other way. Sometimes this time we have this block made by Scratch programmers for us. Sometimes you won't have it, sometimes it won't be here in other programs or even in Scratch. Sometimes you will need to make those blocks yourself, or to make them from the other blocks. So you have to learn this way before you learn this short way. It's best to learn it both ways, so you can do it on your own and solve different problems in different ways. That's the whole idea of programming. And later, when you learn it the faster way, you just use it the faster way, the simpler way, the more elegant way if you want, and you just drag and drop and delete this one if you don't need it. Okay, I don't need it, go away, just like that. What do I need here more? I need here I'm Scratch Cat. I can copy this text and paste it here with Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V on your keyboard, or just type it here. And this one was on the screen for 3 seconds. We can now detach it and delete it. And this one, which says welcome to programming, we need that one. We're gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna type this one. Oops. I'm gonna type welcome to programming. And that was on the stage for 1 second. We don't need it anymore. Go to trash, and that's it. I'm zooming out, zooming in. Okay, let's test it. Hello, I'm Scratch Cat. Welcome to programming. And it disappears. Great. So it works like that, simple as that. it solves one of our problems, and which it was posing with this second field, which we can enter how many seconds to be on the stage, and it also solves the other problem which we had, and that is to remove the text from the stage when it is finished, to delete it. So for this video and for this lesson, that's it. I think it was very clear and useful to learn this. Very simple, but when you are going to use it and how you are going to use it, longer way, shorter way, smarter way, more stupid way, it's all up to you. That's the freedom of choice in programming. That's why the programming is great, and just keep on learning the new stuff. I'm keep on making the new videos. Bye for now, and I hope to see you soon in next videos.